Belmont City, a jungle of glass towers, neon lights, and endless noise. High above it all, in the penthouse of the tallest skyscraper, sat Angelo Duval, a billionaire, a man everyone feared, but no one truly knew. He had money, he had power, he had everything except happiness. At the long dining table, his 10-year-old daughter, Isabella, sat alone, pushing food around her plate. She barely looked up when Angelo entered. "Eat," he ordered. His voice was cold, sharp. "I'm not hungry," Isabella whispered. Silence, the kind that cuts deeper than words. Angelo sighed, staring at the skyline through the glass walls. He could buy his daughter anything, except her smile. Later that night, he overheard her talking to a nanny. "I wish someone cared about me. Not the money, not the cars, just me." Those words hit harder than any boardroom battle. But Angelo turned away, hiding the sting in his chest. He didn't know how to be the father she needed. The next morning, he tried to make things better. "Come with me today," he said, forcing a smile. "Let's spend time together." Isabella hesitated, then nodded. The black limousine slid through the glittering city, leaving behind polished roads and golden billboards. But soon the glass towers faded, replaced by broken streets, crowded alleys, and the forgotten side of Belmont. Isabella pressed her face to the window. "Papa, what's this place?" Angelo frowned. "A place you don't need to see." But fate had other plans. At a traffic light, Isabella spotted something strange. A group of kids, barefoot and ragged, huddled on the sidewalk. In the middle of them, a girl about her age knelt on the ground. She had messy hair, torn clothes, but fire in her eyes. She was teaching. With nothing but a piece of white chalk, she scribbled numbers on cracked pavement. "Math is everywhere," she told the younger kids. "You just have to see it." Isabella's eyes widened. She had never seen passion like that. Not in her school, not in her father's world. But before Angelo could stop her, Isabella opened the car door and ran. "Isabella!" Angelo's voice thundered, but she didn't look back. She knelt beside the girl. "Hi, what's your name?" The girl looked up, wary but steady. "Marisol." That one name was about to change everything. Marisol's chalk scratched against the pavement. Numbers, shapes, lines that made no sense to most, but magic to the kids around her. Isabella sat cross-legged, watching every stroke. Her expensive shoes touched the same cracked ground where Marisol's bare feet rested. Two worlds colliding. "See this triangle?" Marisol said, drawing quick lines. "It's not just a shape, it's balance. Without balance, it collapses." The kids nodded eagerly. Isabella whispered, "You're amazing." Marisol raised an eyebrow. "I'm not amazing, I'm just trying to help them." "Where did you learn all this?" Isabella asked. Marisol's eyes darkened. "From books I find in trash bins, from listening outside school windows." Her voice carried pride, but also pain. The moment was electric. Isabella felt alive, more than she ever had in her father's mansion. But then, "Isabella!" The shout cut through the air like a blade. Angelo stormed across the street, his polished shoes splashing into dirty puddles. His security guards followed, confused but tense. Every head in the alley turned. The atmosphere shifted. Marisol froze. She had seen men like this before. Rich, powerful, untouchable. The kind who never looked down unless it was to crush you. Angelo grabbed Isabella's wrist. "What do you think you're doing?" "She was teaching me." "Teaching you?" Angelo's eyes narrowed at Marisol. "This street rat?" The kids around Marisol shrank back, but she didn't move, didn't flinch. Her chin lifted. Her gaze met his, unbroken. "Yes," she said. Her voice was steady, but her hands trembled. "Yes, I was teaching her." Angelo's face darkened. He looked at Isabella. "Get in the car. Now!" Isabella shook her head. "No, I want to learn from her." Gasps rippled through the crowd. The billionaire's daughter, defying him. For a split second, Angelo felt something he hadn't felt in years. Fear. Fear of losing control. But Marisol spoke again, softer this time. "If knowledge can only belong to the rich, then what's the point of learning at all?" Angelo's jaw tightened. He pulled Isabella away, his grip iron-hard. But as the car door slammed and the limousine pulled away, Isabella looked back. Her eyes met Marisol's. And in that moment, a promise was born. This wasn't the end. It was only the beginning. The limousine roared back toward the glass towers. Inside, the air was ice. Isabella sat with arms crossed, eyes blazing. Angelo sat stiff, his jaw clenched. Finally, she snapped. "Why did you do that? She was teaching me." "She is nothing, Isabella. She has no place near you." "You didn't even listen to her," Isabella shot back. "She knows more than my teachers." Angelo turned, his eyes cold steel. "You are my daughter, and you will not learn from beggars on the street." The words cut deep. Isabella's lip trembled, but she didn't cry, not this time. She just whispered, "Maybe beggars have more heart than billionaires." The silence after that was deafening. That night, Angelo couldn't sleep. Her words echoed, burning holes in his pride. Billionaire, powerful, untouchable, and yet defeated by a child's truth. But he buried the thought. Weakness wasn't allowed. The next day, Isabella slipped away. Not to the malls, not to the towers, but back to the alley. And there she was, Marisol, chalk in hand. Children circled around her like moths to a flame. Isabella's face lit up. "You're here." Marisol smiled faintly. "You came back." For a brief, fragile moment, it felt like freedom. But then the air shifted. A shadow loomed. Angelo. He had followed her. The kids scattered like frightened birds. Marisol stood, fists clenched, her body trembling but unyielding. "What do you want now?" she asked. Angelo stepped closer. "You think you can teach my daughter? Fill her head with trash from the streets?" Marisol's voice cracked, but she forced the words out. "Knowledge isn't trash." Angelo's laugh was sharp, cruel. "Do you even know who I am?" "Yes," she said quietly. "You're the man who has everything and nothing." The words hit him like a knife. For a moment, his mask slipped. Isabella grabbed his arm. "Papa, please. She's different. She can help me." Angelo shook his head, fighting the storm inside him. But Marisol didn't stop. "You're rich, but you don't understand value. Real value. If you did, you wouldn't be here trying to silence a girl with chalk." Gasps from nearby onlookers. Even the city seemed to pause. Angelo's jaw tightened. He had to say something. "If she is your daughter, she should learn from the best," he said, his voice steel cold. "Not from the streets."
The crowd in the alley dispersed, whispers trailing like smoke. But Angelo stood frozen. Marisol's words dug deep. "You're the man who has everything and nothing." He wanted to shout, to shut her down, but instead his mind betrayed him. A memory, a kitchen, small and crumbling, his mother's hands rough but gentle, guiding his tiny fingers over numbers written with charcoal on the floor. Her voice soft. "Remember, Angelo, numbers can build bridges, not just walls." He had forgotten that voice, buried it under steel, money, and ambition. Now, a girl from the streets had unearthed it in seconds. "Papa?" Isabella's voice broke through. Angelo blinked, forcing the memory back into its grave. "Get in the car," he said flatly. Isabella hesitated. She looked at Marisol, then back at her father. "No, not until you listen." The alley went silent again. Even the stray dogs stopped moving. Angelo's jaw clenched. He was not a man who listened. People listened to him, always. But Isabella's eyes reminded him of someone. His mother. He sighed, a sound more weary than angry. "Fine, speak." Marisol straightened, her bare feet planted on the cracked pavement like roots. "I don't have money. I don't have a school, but I have knowledge, and I won't waste it." Her voice trembled, but her eyes did not. "These kids deserve a chance. Your daughter deserves a chance. And you," she paused, staring right at him, "you deserve to remember what that means." The words struck harder than bullets. For a moment, Angelo felt his empire crumble. The boardrooms, the towers, the luxury, it all seemed hollow. But pride was a cage, and he was still locked inside. "You think you know me?" he snapped, the mask snapping back into place. "You think a girl with chalk can lecture Angelo Duval?" Marisol didn't back down. "No, but maybe a girl with chalk can remind him of something he forgot." Silence. Isabella's grip tightened on his hand. "Papa, please." For the first time in years, Angelo Duval didn't have an answer. That night, he sat in his penthouse apartment. Lights from the city glared against the glass walls, but inside, it was dark. He poured himself a drink, then left it untouched. Marisol's voice echoed in his head. "You deserve to remember." He stared at his reflection, the billionaire, the untouchable, the man who built towers to escape the ground. But no matter how high he climbed, the ground had found him again, and it wore the face of a girl with chalk.